Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Gunpla Gamer here, back with another video, another react. So good news, if you haven't already known, our Lord and Savior Roach King, Asmon, is back. So we're probably not going to have any stuff to react to until next week, but at least he's back and hopefully he doesn't get in trouble again. And we'll have some stuff to react to next week. I think a lot of the crazy stuff that happened. Probably going to cover at least a little bit of it today, as you could see in the video in the back. As you know, the whole thing with Lindsay is kind of a huge deal. I know Asmin talked about it a bit, but I like to at least, um, give a full day before I react to a video. So since Asmin just did it like last night, I want to give it some time before I react to that. Leaflit's video is at least, a day or two old. So I don't feel as bad, reacting to the content, give it some time to generate its views on its own. But I definitely wanted to talk about this because I think it's an insane situation. I think more people should probably see it, even though I think this is everywhere right now because of how crazy it is. But anyway, welcome back, guys. Hope you're all excited to have the Roach King back, as I am. Some of the stuff he's been posting with him and Kaisi has been adorable and hilarious. Great to see him so happy, and watching Tectone react to all of the stuff is also hilarious. The reaction to some of his videos and their relationship is the best. It's like total bromance. But anyway, this video is long. It's an hour long, so I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I don't know if I really want to do like the whole hour of it, but I'm probably gonna skip around a bit. I kind of want to just talk about just the insanity of not only just like what happened, like what Lindsay did herself, but like the reaction to all the retarded liberal women on the internet and on TikTok and everything they're doing as well. So without further ado, let's get into it.
January 2023, 32-year-old nurse Lindsay Clancy
So we
had
don't need
strangled
to
all three of them with exercise bands. Cora and
hear this
suicidal
situation. We
thoughts.
know what
She
happened.
even admitted herself to a psychiatric hospital. She was discharged postpartum psychosis and heard a male voice ordering her to.
So this is the thing, like there's people that say the husband did it and that she didn't do it. But literally, it says right here that her own defense says that she was suffering from bipolar disorder, postpartum psychosis, and heard a male voice ordering her to kill them and then herself. So I don't really understand the people that are trying to say that she didn't do it. I think it's just like feminist brain rot, but come on, people.
To kill them, then herself. It's like an actual fucking demon. When
Yeah,
her
she looks
trial began
psychotic.
in the summer, women rallied behind her. A new fundraiser set up for her parents collected nearly $1 million with more than 25,000 donors.
I think now it is actually 1 million. It's probably over 1 million at this point, which is insane. Like I think, and I'm starting to see this a little bit too, um, on social media, but I think anyone who has a girlfriend or a wife or has a friend that like has kids or is going to have kids that is supporting Lindsay should report them to CPS, should report them to some kind of medical facility, because if you are on this woman's side, you are retarded, your brain is destroyed, you are a danger to your family and your children, because you're basically admitting that you also have some kind of mental disorder and postpartum psychosis and are probably going to do harm to your children. So if you're in a relationship, guys, if you know someone that's in a relationship with a woman that's supporting this, report them. Like, get as far away from them as possible because they're insane. Anyone that's on this donor list should be reported, should have CPS called on them. I mean, this is ridiculous.
with many supporters convinced Lindsay is a. They like, why are people like, oh my god, murder? Let me get some of that. What is this? You know what
Yeah.
is? Oh yeah, this one here. By Homath, it says more and more people are starting to realize
Oh,
what
home
I've
math
been
is
saying
great.
about women. Oh boy, they have lost their minds because they're not receiving correct stimuli. Yeah, I actually retweeted this. So let's see this video here.
This is another thing, like the fallout, like the nuclear fallout from this happening and like the social media explosion from it is almost, well, I wouldn't say is almost as worse because nothing is as worse as happened, but it's like also really bad. Like all these psychotic women that are coming out and doing these videos too. Like there are women that are filming themselves crying like on their beds, on their couches, and it's like you could see the reflection of the ring light like in their eyes and like on their glasses and they have their phone up recording. It's like so typical performative bullshit. Like these women are like seeing a trend, like, okay, I could capitalize on like this misfortune and like psychotic retarded behavior and film myself fake crying on the couch and saying, yes, I know how hard it is to have children too. Oh yes, same queen. I also, have postpartum depression and also want to harm my family. Like what the actual fuck? Like it's insane the amount of women that I'm seeing in videos that are posting themselves holding their kids crying, like sitting next to their kids crying, talking about their kids, like posting videos how like they did tarot card readings and they think Lindsay is innocent and like how the lunar moon from the husband and because he's a Gemini mean he's guilty. Like what is happening? Like, are these women so bored and like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Are they so bored and like they have no danger, like they have no oppression. There we go. They're not oppressed enough to where like they don't know what to do with themselves because like they have no urgency to do anything to keep themselves occupied. So instead, they're just like, let me go on TikTok and say that I have postpartum depression, and instead of hurting my child, I'm going to throw ice cubes against the wall and into the bathtub and have like a baby fit rage in the bathroom. Like, what is going on? And I thought this was funny too when they posted this thing about the ancient Greek city where the women, um, like they saw one woman got attention for like being depressed and committing suicide, so all the other women started pretending that they were depressed and committed suicide. So they all started doing it too, and there was this huge like suicide epidemic, uh, and like no one knew how to deal with it. And then the leader of the city, as you can see, like saw that the next suicide, the person would be like publicly humiliated, and the whole thing stopped. And I think the same thing needs to happen to all these women is like they get away with being performative and obnoxious and there's no repercussions to them. So I think like we need to do the same thing. Like we need to find these women that are like doing these videos on TikTok of like raging and like saying that they're gonna harm their family and publicly humiliate them. Like close their accounts, post them on the news, show that they're getting arrested, that they're getting their kids taken away, that they're being put in mental institutions, they're getting fired from their jobs. The only way to get across to these like psychotic people is to publicly humiliate them, and I couldn't think of a better way.
What is this? As a mom, my patience control is hard.
Like this is ridiculous.
This is a lack of emotional regulation. This is an inability to control yourself. Is what this is.
But it's
This is
also
like
performative
anytime
and
something.
retarded.
This is anytime I want to do something, I just do it. Versus like actually having the self control to actually not do it.
But I mean, look at her. She doesn't have any self-control. And it's obvious that they're all doing this for the internet clout because they already have the camera set up in the perfect position with the perfect lighting. You know, they know that they could just do this and one, get away with it, and two, get social media clout from it, which obviously she's getting because everyone's reacting to this clip. So she wins in the end, sadly.
And then she filmed it and put it on TikTok.
Hmm.
I mean, look at that. This is a nice bathroom too, right?
It's a really nice
Jeez.
bathroom.
Fucking hell. I am woman. Hear me roar.
Absolute psychotic. Like they need to
Holy
find
fuck. The
they need to find
look
this
at the
woman through
aftermath,
TikTok
guys.
and her social
I'm
media
so powerful. Wait, what is this?
and ban them.
I'm so effing
Just play
sick
League of Legends. What the
of
fuck?
people taking advantage of me and
What?
manipulating me
The fuck?
and making me feel not seen when I am very freaking loud. I deserve to be freaking heard.
See, this is fake. This is total bullshit.
This is the behavior of an 8-year-old child that
Yeah,
didn't get
this
their
is-
ice cream.
this is a
actually,
tantrum.
This is like a kid that didn't get the ice cream. It's pathetic.
I
Like,
need to be
it's
seen.
pathetic.
I need to be heard.
Honestly, you know
I
what
don't
would
want to
have
be
fixed this
taken
is if they
advantage
acted
of.
like this when they were a kid and they got smacked. Like their dad just fucking bitch slapped them.
Yep.
Probably would have fixed this.
People who don't deserve me. People who don't fucking see me.
Like if this woman is in a relationship or has a husband or has a family and he sees
Holy
this,
shit.
he should report her. He should call CPS on her. He should get her arrested. Her social media should close down
Dude, I've
and she should
had
be publicly
the most
humiliated.
ridiculous bullshit happen to me in like the
'Cause
last
this is
couple weeks,
just so
and I haven't
childish.
even acted like this.
People who don't deserve me.
You're right. Your family and your kids deserve better because you're a fucking psycho.
The problem is, so this is actually scientifically known too, that if you constantly give in to your lesser impulses, it becomes harder the next time. The ability to actually refrain from doing a thing that you're impulsively want to do, the failure to actually not do that actually makes it continuously. You lose the resistance basically. So you have to just temper yourself and have self-control. You have
These
to have
people don't
emotional
have
control. Like the
self-control.
emotions are not you, right?
Yeah, right.
You
Emotions
being
for these
mad
people-
is not you, right? It doesn't have to be
Forget
you.
that.
Those emotions don't control you, right? You're the master of your own emotions. You
The
don't have to
liberals
do
are all
this.
about emotions. That's all they
But
know.
you know, what am I kidding? What am I kidding? I'm talking to a bunch of men. You guys already know this. You already know this because a lot of you are Western men. You don't see a woman and go, wow, you know what? I'd like to have sex with that. Maybe I should do it right now.
Nope.
Right? Like,
And that's how I rage.
they can't even do that in some cultures. They can't even do that in some cultures.
Yeah,
Like, let's be
that's a
honest.
big problem
They
they're
can't
having
do
with
it.
now too.
All right, let's now watch the video.
One of the hardest things to do when you're paying close attention to current events and you've watched one too many depraved TikToks is to take a step back and realize that things weren't always so bad. Not too long ago,
course.
for example, it would have been unthinkable for millions of women to spend their free time rallying to the defense of a psychotic mother like Lindsay Clancy,
Yep.
who murdered her own children one by one after sending
They're
her husband
bored
away on
and
errands.
psychotic.
Would have
I
been
don't know what
unthinkable for
happened to the
women
left,
to
man. They
send
fucking
nearly
lost
$1 million
it.
to the mother's family via a GoFundMe.
They're
as a
like so
reward
bored
for the
and
horrific crime
like
that she had
not
committed. In
impressed
another
that
era,
they
women
just lost their
certainly
fucking
wouldn't be
mind.
throwing themselves out of windows in a bizarre effort to prove that Lindsay Clancy is somehow being framed for murder, even though Clancy herself isn't even making that claim. But as you can see on your screen right now, that's exactly what we're seeing today.
Fucking
There are
crazy.
women so bored with their lives, so delusional and dumb, that they're throwing themselves out of buildings on camera in a futile attempt to demonstrate that Lindsay Clancy was definitely pushed out of her second-story window. They're also consulting astrology and birth charts to
Wait,
That's
divine
insane. Yeah, that's exactly
they're
what I'm
fucking
talking
doing
about.
witch shit to
Astrology
Oh my
and
God.
a
birth
killer's
charts.
true identity. Watch.
It's been a while, but I have to pop on here just to say that I've
Here
been
we go.
following
We
this
see all
Lindsay
the
Clancy
fucking
trial, especially
psychos.
as a mother of two who dealt with a lot of postpartum mental illness, and you know, just following all their birth charts and
See?
birthdays and
Like,
zodiac
if
signs.
you're the
He
husband of
did
this
it.
woman,
Holy
He
fuck.
if you're the husband of this woman, she just said that she has 2 kids, and she's following birth charts and astrology, and she's agreeing with Lindsay. She needs to be reported to CPS. She needs to be locked up. She needs to be publicly humiliated. You need to divorce her, and you need to get as far away from this fucking psycho as possible.
Did it.
Well, guys, the case is closed.
Ridiculous.
Because over here they figured
How could
it
you
out.
be
This
with a
woman
woman
has
like this?
figured out. She has checked the stars. She has checked the palms. She has checked the tarot cards. And
How
she
can you
knows
feel like
she
you
has
have a
discovered the
good
truth,
mother
that it was the husband
and
Hashtag
wife when
believe
you
all
have
women.
someone saying
He
that
did
they
it.
are
He's a
following
Gemini man.
fucking
His birthday is June 15th.
astrology
I'm a Gemini woman. My birthday is June 4th.
and
No,
birth
Gemini
charts?
means that you're gonna die twice. It doesn't mean that you're gonna jump out of the window.
Let me
Everyone
give you
knows
another
it.
example of who a Gemini man is. Also birthday June 14th.
Okay, hold on,
Another
hold on.
June 15th. He did it.
Okay, how do you do it?
He did it.
Uh-huh.
He did it. He's a Gemini man. His birthday
Okay.
is June 15th.
Okay.
I'm a Gemini woman. My birthday is June 14th.
Okay.
Let me give you another example of who a Gemini man is. Also birthday June 14th. Men and women are different. Keep that in mind. Please don't.
Yeah, because women can never do anything wrong, right?
Hmm.
So like men are the bad version of all of the horoscopes, but then
course.
women are the good version. Yeah, obviously everyone knows that, right?
Judge
Always
me,
angels, right?
Donald Trump.
Ah,
Oh, well,
Trump derangement,
case
of course.
solved. Donald Trump, also the same sign.
Patrick did
I'm
it.
convinced.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm convinced.
lock her up.
Yeah, the husband did it, despite all the evidence pointing to the wife and despite the wife herself confessing to it. And we know he did it because his birthday is a few days apart from Donald Trump. And there are tons of videos like this one, okay? The idea that you can solve a crime based on
On a
looking
birth
at
chart.
somebody's birthday is a legitimately popular view.
No, it's not just the birthday. It's like the birthday. Listen, Matt, you got this wrong. It's the birthday. It's the tarot cards, like which one is reversed. You got the reverse death card, the Wheel of Fortune. You got that right, and then you also have to check the resonance of your amethyst crystal. You need all of that, right?
That's
and then you have to
insane.
check your pad for the you check your menstrual pad to
What?
see the symbols, right? That
The
come
sad
out of
thing
it.
is
Fucking
that's
obviously.
probably true.
among women on social media. And I will also
They
say,
probably
as a side
actually
note, and
do
not to
that.
get hung up on the less important details here, but the other thing you notice about all these
You gotta tune into the frequency, exactly. Yeah.
women on TikTok is that they all sound exactly the same. And I don't just mean that they sound the same because they're all sputtering the same nonsensical
And you gotta do this, like honestly, like while you're drinking a mimosa at the same time.
Hmm?
The mimosa is really important. If you don't have the mimosa, you don't have the mimosa, and you don't have your what do you call it, like your Ozempic shot at the same time, then you don't have the buffs in order to actually reach the higher level.
morally retarded gibberish, although they are. I mean that they sound the same in like their tone of voice, in their mannerisms, in their inflection. They have the same facial
gotta do it right
expressions.
after
They have the
brunch.
same tics, like the same smarmy grin, the same dramatic pauses where they always look very impressed with whatever they just said, even though it
They're
was
all
the dumbest
fucking
shit we've ever heard.
lunatics.
They speak in the same cliches. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, she says, and she's very impressed
Yep.
with herself for being approximately like the 5 billionth person to think of that joke. My point is that while these women are being radicalized and driven into psychosis, not by any postpartum biological phenomenon, but by a combination of social media and their own narcissism, there's also a kind of loss of individual identity that's happening on a massive scale that maybe should be a subject of its own video sometime because, you know,
I think there's a loss of identity going on in this video because he's not wearing plaid. Am I right, guys? He's not wearing like his fucking lumberjack outfit. Like that's a loss of identity.
woman in that video and in the thousands of videos like it has no personality of her own
No.
at all. No thoughts of her own, doesn't even have her own distinct mannerisms or style of speaking.
She's a
She
bot.
is a drone. She is a walking cliche. She is a being devoid of distinctness and probably lacking anything.
Also, did Ben Shapiro do that to his hair? Why does he have the little swept up thingy? When did he start doing that? First no lumberjack shirt, and then now the hair swept up. What's going on?
Resembling an actual interior life. Like if you could travel inside that woman's head, it would be like walking into a cave. Okay,
Yeah,
you'd
it's
hear
devoid of
Is Ben
all
gonna take his foreskin?
of
Like,
all
what's going on
reason
here?
and
there's just like nothing happening. And
No.
this again is a phenomenon that we're
Complete
witnessing
boredom.
on a culture-wide scale. Now we'll go through many more videos like this in a moment. There is a psychotic lust for child killing that's taken hold of a large number of American women, which
it's fucking
may not
insane.
seem surprising given their support
True.
for abortion. In the
The
majority, anyway.
Democratic and
But
left
it's even
party
worse
at
than we
this
thought.
point
To
like
be honest,
should
though,
be
wait, did he? When
like
did he get this new set?
I don't know,
It's
some
been- it's
kind
been
of
a while
like
since I've seen him, but I love
terrorist
the new set
group
that he has
like
going on. It's great.
I mean, we're now at the point where if a
anti-American
random psycho witch murders her
like
children in the
something
basement, a
because
preponderance of women
it
on
just
social
seems
media
like they just want
feel
to
an instant
destroy everything
kinship
that we
with it.
love.
At the same time, this
at
is not
this
just a
point.
problem that's confined to women. In just the past year, we've also seen thousands of black people rally around
For a
Carmelo
year or
Anthony,
two, what? Dude, you know I used to watch Matt Walsh when he was in a car? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Back when I watched the Matt Walsh show, he was a dude in a car. Like, he was literally just sitting in a car talking. Yeah.
stabbed a white kid to death.
That's how
At a
long
track
ago
meet.
it was
Many of
that I
these
was watching
people
that.
showed up to the courthouse to blame Austin Metcalf
Yep.
for his own murder.
Which they
donated
actually
hundreds of
just
thousands
found
of
more
dollars
stuff
explicitly
on him
because he killed
where
a white
like
teenager.
he was
This is
telling
racial
his girlfriend
tribalism,
he was gonna
which
stab
mirrors
somebody
the
that day.
gender
So
tribalism of the Lindsay Clancy
more
case.
stuff
We've
to
also
make
seen
him seem
multiple
guilty. Of
assassinations or
course,
attempted assassinations
even though we
against
already
leading
knew that.
conservative figures and other people, all prompting an outpouring of adulation from leftists. This is an obvious form of political tribalism on the left. These people instinctively support each other in everything they do,
Echo
and
chamber.
innocents are dying as a result. The rule of law is starting to fail in large swaths of the country because of it. So we've been told for years about the alleged radicalization of young white conservative men, but it seems
Yep.
clear that the worst and most psychotic forms of
I
radicalization
am one of them.
are happening in pretty much every group except that one. Okay, the one group that Merrick Garland and Joe Biden and Barack Obama warned us about, as it turns out, is the least radicalized, the least deranged,
It's
and
true.
least violent of all.
Statistics
And
show
one
it.
way to explain the situation is that white men as a group have been
If you look at the statistics on like which groups are the most racist, white people are actually the least racist.
Yep.
Like, white men are the least racist. Actually, if you look at the actual stats on it.
beaten down by years of scolding and moral blackmail and propaganda by the government, by the media. By
I mean,
everyone.
they're
Who's
hiring
the
less
most
white
racist,
males.
according to
The
statistics?
DEI
I thought it would be
program.
Asians, but it actually wasn't Asians.
There's also the fact that white men have been replaced in cities throughout the United States.
There you
while being
go.
Run out of every major institution. They've
There
been
you go.
conquered, in other words. And it's not the first time this has happened, by the way.
They hate us.
Here's some historical trivia for you from the medieval period, otherwise known as the Golden Age of Civilization. After the Norman conquest of England in 1066, William the Conqueror commissioned something called the Doomsday Book, which is actually spelled Domesday, even though it's pronounced Doomsday. The point of the Doomsday Book was to list the names of landowners at 2 points in time, 1066 before the Norman invasion, as well as in 1086 after the Normans took over. So the Doomsday Book contained a side-by-side comparison of the names of landowners before the invasion, as well as the names of landowners after the invasion.
Okay.
Now, just by paging through the finished product, it becomes clear that the name Doomsday Book is very much appropriate. The landowners in 1066 mostly had names like Ulrich or Edwin or Godwin or Harold or my personal favorite, Wulfstan. They were Germanic, Norse, Danish. And on the other hand, by 1086, the names were all French and Norman. There were names like Robert or Ralph or Roger or William. So to anyone reading the Doomsday Book, it was immediately obvious that England had been conquered. A casual glance through the pages would confirm that as of 1086, the Thorbrands and Leofricks were gone, and the Ralphs had taken over. And this one book told the entire story. Now, of course, we don't have a Doomsday Book anymore, at least by name.
I mean, we
Everything has
should
to be
at
as
some
sterile
point.
and clinical as we can make it. So today we have a census that doesn't even really tell us anything. But if you know where to look,
Everything's
you can
like
easily find modern day equivalents
essentially
of the
hidden
Doomsday
at
Book.
this
So, for
point.
example,
They
you
don't
can
want us
browse
to know
through
the
local
reality.
news reports, paying particularly close attention to stories documenting horrific and seemingly random crimes. And if you do
Just
that,
like-
you come to the same realization that a medieval peasant would
Just like they're on a lot of the reports of people that are being arrested, even though they're clearly like not white, they're from like a different racial profile, they'll list the gender as white so that they could artificially inflate the numbers that white people are like, more apt to create crimes, even though it's not actually the white people that are committing the crimes, it's other races. But it's racist to say that, so they make believe that it's not those races. They tell them that it's white people instead because, of course, you can't be racist against white people. And um, they're just trying to oppress white people in every way possible.
Would have had in England back in 1086, paging through William the Conqueror's book. You'll realize, as if there's any doubt, that we have been conquered. So to give just one egregious example, which gets worse the more you learn about it, considering the following story out of Fairfax County, Virginia. Now, this is one of the most affluent areas in the United States. Up until recently, pretty much everyone living there had a name like Steve, but those days are long gone. So here we go. On the morning of December 29th, 2019, in Vienna, Virginia, a 61-year-old landlord named Mohammed Hamashin was stabbed to death in a home by his tenant, 27-year-old Abdullah Tashpaladze. I'll say that again. Abdullah Tashpaladze stabbed Mohammed Hamashin to death inside a mansion in Fairfax County. Now, it was a brutal murder. Abdullah, whatever, we'll just call him Abdullah, was covered in blood from head to toe, quote unquote, when officers arrived in the home. He told the police, quote, "I am guilty." And by the way, this guy had no legal right to be in the country in the first place. Unsurprisingly, he's an illegal alien.
Huh.
Now, with all that in mind,
wait.
here's how
that never happens, right?
They're not violent,
local
though.
news
What's
station
going on?
covered this
That's what I
crime
heard.
at the time. Watch.
I heard they were all family people, you know, like kids with their family here for a good life. You know?
After being stabbed in Fairfax County. Yeah, News 4's Derek Ward just arrived on the scene and has the latest from Vienna. What do we know about this, Derek?
Well, we're here in the 2900 block of Edgeley Court.
They never want to say the truth.
Vienna. Police were called here at about 8:45 for the report of a person stabbed. Now, when they got here, they performed CPR on the victim. He was taken to the hospital and later pronounced dead. Now, we have learned that a suspect is in custody, and Fairfax County Police are saying that there is no threat to the public. This all seemed to appear, it seems to have happened inside a home here. As you can see, crime scene tape and investigators remain on the scene. But again, one person stabbed, pronounced dead at a hospital here in Vienna, the 2900 block of Edgeley Road. Police say they have a suspect in custody and that there is no threat to the public. That's all we know for now. No identities on the victim or the suspect. We are live in Vienna.
Is it going to be one of those situations where they don't say the name of the race?
The names of anyone involved in this incident, even though a suspect was in custody and it was obvious he did it since he was found in the house and the police weren't looking for anyone else.
They don't want the public to know that Muslims.
Clip, the anchor does express some surprise that a homicide like this could occur in such a wealthy area, but that's as far as it goes.
Creating
we
crime.
have to conclude that this was just another unfortunate altercation between a couple of random Virginia men who are just as American as anybody else. Unfortunately, the police caught the killer, so you'd assume, obviously, that, okay, well, he'll be spending the rest of his life in prison. Don't have to worry about
they probably
that
released
anymore,
him,
at least.
like
but
usual.
That didn't happen. Instead, in 2022, Abdullah was interviewed by a state-funded Muslim psychiatrist, and shockingly enough, that Muslim psychiatrist found that Abdullah was not guilty by reason of insanity. So he was sent to the Northern Virginia Mental Health Institute.
All right.
And what this
Seems
means
to
is
be
that under Virginia law,
commonality
he was not
lately.
criminally responsible for butchering his landlord. And so every year, he's eligible for a psychiatric reevaluation. And if the doctor determines that he's all better, then he can be released into the public with no conditions.
It's like that guy that
Like the
ate
murder
people in
never
Japan.
happened. He can walk right outside the door.
This is the
of
new
mental
trend.
institution as a free
Instead
man.
of making
Actually,
them
I think it
guilty,
happened
they
in
just say
France.
they're
Move it right
insane.
next to you if he wants to. And we talked before about the insanity defense and how it should be abolished because none of this makes any degree of
Everyone's
sense
doing the
whatsoever.
insanity
Once
defense.
you kill someone, you forfeit your right to freedom permanently. It doesn't matter if a psychiatrist thinks you were insane at the time, even if you could somehow prove that you couldn't control your own actions or you had no idea what was going on.
Then you
That's
should
all
be
the more
locked up,
reason to lock you up. You're a threat to everybody around you as long as you live. But in this case, Abdullah didn't even have to wait for a psychiatrist to give him the green light for release. Instead, Abdullah was freed from the mental institution.
Yeah, I agree.
Despite the
with
fact that his doctors and the court strongly believed that he should not be released. So this is
Of
from the
course.
New York Post. Quote, Abdullah Tashpaladze left the Northern Virginia
This
Mental
is
Health
another big problem with the left.
on July 6th
They
for an
just keep letting
authorized
people back out on the
48-hour
streets.
pass. He was required to return 2 days later, but he never did. Instead,
But they want to
he traveled
abolish
Washington
the
Dulles
police,
International Airport
and they want to
boarded a
take away
Turkish
jails.
Airlines flight to Istanbul
But then they
before
also want to
continuing
release these
to,
people back onto the
Dushanbe
streets.
and Tajikistan, court documents show. So
Oh,
Funny,
man.
isn't it?
Holy fuck. We live in such a world now where we just let people get away with shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
This
we
world
just
is
go,
fucked.
oh, you know, like, it'll be fine. And we just let people get away with things.
in other words, even though he was supposed to be held
Be back by
indefinitely
bedtime,
in a
I know.
mental institution, the mental institution gave
that
him
world
a
is gone.
48-hour unsupervised day
Be back
pass
before the
where he could
streetlights
go
are out.
wherever he wanted. And what do you know? He chose to board an airplane and go back to his homeland. Who could have possibly seen that coming? Now, already this story is yet more evidence that the insanity defense must be abolished. Once you start coddling criminals and pretend they didn't actually do anything wrong, this is what happens. The government hires a bunch of social workers to treat these monsters like harmless little children, and the monsters predictably take full advantage of the situation.
System.
Yep.
Except in this case, it's even worse than it sounds. So take a look at this document. It's from May of 2024. And as it turns out, the Fairfax County Commonwealth Attorney, a Soros-funded prosecutor named Steve Descano, asked a judge to allow Abdullah to leave the mental institution temporarily so he could travel to the embassy of Tajikistan in Washington, D.C. for the purpose of obtaining a passport.
Wait.
That was 2 years ago. It gave this murderer the tool he needed to flee the country. So this was a state-sanctioned, Soros-backed jailbreak, in other words. And it proceeded in 2 steps. First, Democrats of Virginia helped an illegal alien Islamic murderer to get a passport. And the mental institution opened the doors and gave him a 48-hour head start to the airport. Now, if something like this happened in the third world, they'd be ashamed. It's too much even for them. First, you have the Muslim psychiatrist bailing out the Muslim killer. Then the government arranges the killer's getaway flight. Like, this is the kind of thing that doesn't even happen in Afghanistan. But it's now considered another
suicidal
day at the
empathy
office in Fairfax, Virginia, which, again, used to be one of the nicest areas in the country. The insanity defense enables all this corruption. Without the insanity defense, they wouldn't be able to issue day passes or drive criminals.
Always the liberals.
We have allowed nefarious people who are willing to abuse our rules to abuse them.
Yep.
And we let them do it with impunity because we refuse to accept human nature. We refuse to wake up and understand that there are bad people in this world, and that
the thing is like it's also like part of what Leaflit is saying is like the left, and I guess even sometimes the right, are so afraid of being called stupid name like a racist or a bigot that they would rather just not be called that name and let these horrible things continue to happen and be okay with it because, hey, I'm not being called a name anymore. That makes me feel bad. But at the same time, it's putting in danger all of humanity. So it's like these people don't want to be called, you know, an Islamophobe or a Muslimphobe or racist or bigot for admitting the fact that most of these people come from a certain culture, are racist wild animals. They don't want to be called any name because of that, because that's the truth. So instead they just let them back into the wild and be like, okay, well, I did something right. Look, I'm not a phobe because I let this like 6-time murderer back out into the wild. So now I can just go back to my life. Doesn't hurt me because, you know, I make millions of dollars and I'm protected by the government. But hey, you know, some schmo on the street, they're going to get killed. So it doesn't bother me.
They will do whatever they can to take advantage of us. And it's really tiring, to be honest, because I keep saying it, right? This is the government's only job. The government's only job is to protect us.
And
it's one of their only jobs. And they can't even fucking do that.
The passports, but as
they're afraid.
They take our money all the time.
A verdict of not guilty by
And what do
reason
we
of
get from
insanity
it?
is essentially a get out of jail free card. If you're an Islamic murderer and you get a Muslim psychiatrist, you're in business. And this, again, is why the insanity defense should be abolished, as we've been advocating for years now. Although, since we're on the subject, I feel that I should note, because hardly anyone else is, when you're talking about the insanity defense, there is a distinction that is lost in the debate about insanity and the insanity defense. Nobody denies that insanity is a real phenomenon.
Yeah.
Insane people exist. Recently, I saw a homeless guy on a street corner, half naked, unwashed.
I literally saw this like 2 days ago. Dude approaching my car, talking to himself, looking up at the sky and like flailing his arms at the sky. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Disheveled, engaged in a heated dispute with
But
a
you
lamp
can't just use that as a
he
get
was
out of
very obviously insane.
get
He
out
had
of
no
jail
idea
free
where
card.
he was, who he was, what he was doing. If he ever killed someone, which it's perfectly likely he will,
Yeah.
I would agree that he had very little control over it, although he still, even more so, if anything, needs to be locked away forever. But the real debate is about the concept of temporary insanity. Okay, the question is whether a functional, coherent person, someone capable of living as a normal member of society, engaging in normal conversations, showing an ability to plan for the future and fulfill their basic obligations and do all the stuff normal people do but homeless people can't, whether that person could nonetheless suddenly go insane and lose all agency only to quickly regain agency and be somehow not crazy again.
Nope.
which is basically what they're claiming with Lindsay Clancy. Now, I think that this whole idea of temporary insanity is mythological. Okay?
No,
I think it's
temporary
something out of the
insanity
movies
is fucking
and not real
crazy.
life. And at any rate, it's unfalsifiable. So whatever you think about it, whether you think it's real or not, it is unfalsifiable, which is why it should never be in a courtroom. You cannot have unfalsifiable things presented in courtrooms by definition. It can never be proved or disproved. There is no way at all ever to determine what was happening inside the conscious mind of a currently sane person weeks or months ago at a specific moment in time. There is no way for you to know what was going on in my head last Wednesday. You could never prove it. You could never know. You can't even know it now. But at least in the current moment, there are context clues, right, that you could use. Last week, last year, 3 years ago, impossible. And so even if temporary insanity is a real thing, which I highly doubt, it would still be absolutely impossible to demonstrate or prove.
Yeah.
And literally any criminal, for all we know,
How do you
could
prove
have
someone
been
went temporarily insane?
at the time of their
This
crime.
doesn't make
Our
sense.
only choice then is to hold currently sane people entirely accountable for the crimes they committed, no matter what they were or weren't thinking at the time.
Yeah.
And as for currently insane people, we can feel very sorry for them if we want to, but they too have to be locked away forever for the good of society and the sake of the innocence.
Yeah, because you
that
don't
they
know,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like
doesn't-
they could go crazy.
It
So
doesn't
all of that is
matter
a
if
long
you
way of
went
saying that
temporary
this whole
insane or
debate
not, you're
is
guilty.
ultimately, or should ultimately be, irrelevant. But it's made relevant because the objective is to let people like Lindsay Clancy off the hook using whatever legal tools
No,
are
she should
available.
not be let off
And
the
that's
hook.
exactly why all of these women and even some cucked, gutless men are breathlessly making the insanity case for Lindsay Clancy. They don't really care if she's insane or not. They want her to go free. And that's not based on any kind of
Their
logic
agenda.
or even on any kind of genuine misunderstanding
really
or
reminds me of,
difference
like,
of
the
opinion. They
Carmelo
know she
stuff,
murdered her
you know?
children.
Yep.
They
Same
know
idea.
she chose to do it, and they support her in spite of that. Or more grimly, in some cases, they support her because of it. Now, these women have entered a state of communal psychosis, in effect, metaphorically, all to defend Clancy for committing the most heinous act imaginable, strangling her own children to death. Their plan, as was the case in
Imagine if
Virginia,
TikTok had
is
a
to use the
psychopath.
absurdity of the insanity
all get
defense to
locked up,
absolve
man.
her of
God.
responsibility for these brutal murders. And to be clear, we're not talking about a handful of viral TikToks here. This is not a case of cherry picking the most extreme weirdos to develop a narrative. This phenomenon is widespread and mainstream.
I mean,
As
look,
we
they all
speak, a
went.
GoFundMe for Clancy's
They
family,
all went
which is
out
a
and
roundabout way of donating
protested
to
at
her,
the
has
hearing.
exceeded $920,000 in
Holy
donations.
crap.
Like,
This
how are
woman
you
is going
giving?
to clear $1
How are you giving this
million
this
the
woman $1
picture
million
with all the
after
women holding
murdering all
hands.
3 of her kids?
Like in
She's
their little
going to make
circle. Dude, it's like they're about to erect Wall Maria, right, guys?
This
Holy
is
fuck.
disgraceful.
This woman is going to clear $1 million after murdering all 3 of her kids. She's going to make $1 million
This is
or
disgraceful.
more. And
This
you
is
can
a
see the
a
fundraiser
failure
on the
of
screen
our
right here.
country.
The page reads: "The Musgrove Family Fund is for the 2 people who have remained at her
We have
side
failed.
throughout every step of what followed. Her parents, Mike and Paula Musgrove. For more than 3 years, Mike and Paula have shown up for Lindsay. The case will eventually reach its conclusion. Whatever the outcome is, Mike and Paula will still have to pick up the pieces of their lives they put a hold on to be there for their daughter. They should not have to face that future without the financial foundation they spent decades building."
All because she killed white people. She killed, I
Now,
mean, I guess technically, but
Of
she
course,
killed her
there's
kids.
no logical reason why
Her
anyone
3
would
kids.
donate to the
She
fundraiser.
took exercise bands, as far as I know, and choked her kids. to
That's
death.
what the
Yep.
that's
Of
what the
the
idea
parents
is.
of a
I mean, that's what
child
they're
murderer?
saying.
Child murder.
Since when do we
Killed
do that?
3.
We
5
have
years
GoFundMes
old,
for the
3,
parents
and
of
8,
school
I think,
shooters?
8 months.
Like, since when is this a thing? But this again is about
Because
Yeah,
It's a
I get
woman.
this, guys. So she says she did it. All of the evidence points that she did it.
Yeah,
And
she even admitted to it.
the conclusion of
But
women
everyone
of the
is saying
internet
that it's him.
is that the husband did it.
Yep.
That's actually real.
Because
the
he's a
woman says
Gemini.
she did it. All of the evidence shows that she did it.
Because he's a
the
Gemini.
internet says that the man did it.
Yep.
about supporting Lindsay Clancy. It's about
Because
supporting
he's
murder.
a Gemini.
Now, to the extent that parents have
And he looks
spent
mean.
money defending their child-killing daughter, that's their decision. No one owes them anything. The whole idea is preposterous. If they were honorable people, they would turn this money down. Okay, if I'm a parent and my child has committed a heinous, barbaric crime against my own grandchildren,
Lock him up, man.
and people are donating $1 million to me, I would say I'm not going to. I don't want to profit off of my child committing a crime. So if
Yeah.
you're an honorable, decent person, you turn that money down and you say, shut this GoFundMe down. I don't want this money. Have they done that? Does being
No.
a despicable monster run in that family? I don't know. Now, when you look at the comments of the GoFundMe, though,
right,
you
let's
see
see
what's
it.
really going on here. It's not about the parents at all. Quote, Lindsay
No,
is
it's
changing
for
women's
her.
health, and we know it, and hopefully saving the lives of many struggling women.
What?
That's a comment. Here's another.
Wait, hold
As
on.
someone-
Hold on. Guys, this is just abortion. Wait, this is just... Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense now. It's just abortion. Holy fuck. They just want giga abortion.
that worked in mental health for many years, I am disgusted, shocked, and appalled by the failures of so many professionals. Lindsay, I see you and I stand with you with an aching heart. I'm disgusted,
Ridiculous.
shocked, and appalled, not by the murder of 3 kids, but by the fact that people are being mean to the woman who did it. Quote, I stand with Lindsay. I could have been you. Now, that last claim is especially popular among women who support Lindsay Clancy. They're all saying that, just like Clancy, they could see themselves doctor shopping for a dozen different psych meds, then brutally murdering their own children.
That's
a
why I'm
licensed
saying,
therapist
report
made the same
them,
claim
get your
on
kids
camera.
away from them
The
if they're
Lindsay
reporting her.
Clancy trial is going to be one of the most significant trials of your lifetime.
Is
we are
it?
all experiencing something
Oh, God.
completely
Licensed therapist, liberal voice on politics, culture, society, anti-racist, anti-fascist, pro-LGBTQ plus. Strong therapy, Jess.
Psycho flag.
Holy fuck, she's got 600,000 followers, chat.
Yep, and she's brainwashing
600,000
every single one of
18
them.
million
Never
likes.
before have we seen so many mothers and women rally behind somebody who confessed to killing her 3 children.
Okay.
And it is not because we cannot hold women accountable. Many of us see ourselves in Lindsay.
Holy fuck. What? Lock this bitch up. This is crazy, man.
If you see yourself in Lindsay, you're just saying that you're a future murderer.
Many of us know that we could have been only one step away from doing some of those horrific things.
What?
It's crazy.
Because we experienced significant mental health issues.
Crazy. Self-report.
Holy fuck, bro.
I know.
After
I don't know about you guys, but
I
I'm
know,
fatigued. Are
Leaflit,
you
I know.
fatigued? I'm kind of fatigued. I'm
Yes.
tired of this.
I'm
One of
so
our
tired of
children was
liberals,
born.
bro.
And many of us
Send them
know
to an island.
just how dark some of those thoughts get.
She's,
So yeah,
bro, she was thinking about it. Look, dude.
Send them away.
Dude, she went back.
many of us know just how dark
Look.
some of those thoughts get.
She went into those dark thoughts, man. Holy fuck.
So yeah, this is gonna be one of the most significant trials.
I
of
really
your
hope
lifetime.
she gets fucking locked
Why?
up, man.
Many of us know that we could have been only one step away from murdering our children, is what she said. This is not an
Crazy.
outlier. Again, this is a popular sentiment among Lindsay
Can't
Clancy
relate.
fans. To be clear, I don't actually think that it's
Hey, chat, are women cooked?
Yes. Well,
Are women
liberal
culture?
women, at least.
There's only one cure. There's only one cure. Video games and anime.
true. I can't believe
You
that's
said true. That's funny.
Okay, according to the Child Killers
That's it.
Legion of Groupies, it is very common for women to be merely one step away from murdering their children. That is the point being made explicitly by Clancy's defenders. Now,
Don't
if
think
that
so.
were true, okay, if what these women are saying,
Postpartum depression is a real problem. The whole conversation and side talking is just stupid. It's a disaster for everyone involved.
if it were common, that these desires in women were as common as these people say, and if the difference between Lindsay Clancy and the average woman is just one of sheer luck, if the average woman could easily be Lindsay Clancy, if she has come within mere inches of becoming Lindsay Clancy,
got a problem.
that fact would have vast social and legal consequences. Indeed, it would be the greatest argument for the patriarchy that you could ever make. And it's an argument being made
Oh, God.
by Clancy's feminist defenders. The feminists are now out there saying that, hey, you can't necessarily trust us to
Ugh.
not murder kids.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
even
fucking
deny it,
crazy.
man.
Do it. Now, that's the claim they make. I personally reject that claim. I don't think
Everyone
that most women are
supporting
merely one
Lindsay
step
is
away
basically
from
saying,
strangling
yeah,
their children to death,
hey, you
as
can't
Clancy's
trust me that I
famed
won't
Yeah, I
murder
don't
my
think
own
so.
kids.
Which means that I
Call
the guy
CPS
accused
on
of
every
being,
one
like,
of
the
them.
sexist in this debate, I am putting forward a much more flattering and positive view of women than
True.
these women themselves
What a
are.
feminist, dude. Matt Walsh, feminist.
But even if wanting to
Holy
murder your
shit.
children is not a common, banal sort of experience for the average
Hey, what's up,
woman,
Holy Ball?
still there is something
gotta watch your
happening,
video.
for sure, in an increasingly sizable portion of the modern female population, and it can't be ignored. What's happening is the logical endpoint of decades of feminist propaganda and policy, SSRI prescriptions, social media saturation. It's all these things. For generations, women have been taught that their immediate needs are more important than anybody else's,
They
even
can
their
do
own
no
children.
wrong, yep.
Yep.
You know, this is the pro-abortion logic
It really feels to me that a lot of women are just kids. Like they're just like mentally infants,
Yep.
just screaming and crying. And this is like how they act on this is how they act on Instagram, right? They have like no
Why we gotta
self-control.
take away
You know,
the
if you're a
right to
woman, you
vote?
should even be allowed to butcher your own child with total impunity if your child is inconvenient to you. Even when abortion was illegal, very few women were ever prosecuted for it. Instead of taking responsibility for their own actions in every aspect of life, they've been told, much like racial minorities have been told, that the fault for their behavior lies
it's
elsewhere.
actually the same thing.
Selfishness
True.
has been taught as a virtue to all of the left's favored demographic groups, including and especially women. This is relevant to the topic of parenting also. You know, the truth, as uncomfortable as it may be to hear, and I've already gotten in a lot of trouble on X for saying this, so I'll say it here again because, you know, whining at me and scolding me is only going to make me say whatever I was saying even louder and more often. That's
As you
just the way
should.
that it works. So I'll say here that the truth is that much of the depression that parents, and not just moms, dads too, suffer after childbirth is not always due entirely to hormones
No.
or any purely physiological cause,
You know, I
but
wonder
also to the
if
fact that
I wonder if
It'd
it's
just be you.
being faced with like a new phase of life where you have to be responsible, and it's
They
like
can't
that's
handle the transition.
overbearing because you just want to do whatever the fuck you want. I wonder,
children, especially
you know?
babies, are demanding and difficult, and they require us to subordinate our own needs and desires for their sake.
Yeah, that basically.
Okay? The more selfish you are, and we're all selfish to some degree, but the more selfish you are, the more of an adjustment that's going to be. And as I've said explicitly many times, postpartum depression is a real biological phenomenon. I haven't heard anyone deny that. But that's not the only thing going on when a new child is born and parents are adjusting to that reality. And also, postpartum depression is not an excuse to harm your child in any way. And if you do that,
you gotta
should be
get
punished to the fullest extent of the law.
You gotta
I don't
get
care
help.
how depressed you were.
Yeah.
True.
Doesn't
Once
matter
you do
if
that,
you're
you could
depressed
cry
or
all you want.
not.
I was depressed. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Okay, you should be executed.
Get help.
Okay, go tell us about that in front of the firing squad. You killed a child. Go whine about your depression in front of the firing squad.
Exactly.
We'll take you up the gallows, put the noose around your neck, and you could tell
She
us all
killed
about how depressed
3.
you are. Doesn't matter. The
Yep.
moment you do that, doesn't matter. But these emotional
It doesn't matter.
challenges,
You're
should be
responsible
expected to some
if
degree,
you are
to
a
some
parent
degree,
to take
because
care of your mental
having
health.
children is by far the most
So
seismic
you can
change you'll
support
ever
your
experience
kids.
in your life. I mean, nothing comes close to it. Getting married, moving to another country, getting a new job, none of that has the effect of so immediately and so totally changing the way you live your life on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't help anyone to completely reduce the mental hardship and frustration of this experience to a matter solely of hormones and brain chemistry, as if there aren't even deeper reasons why a parent might feel depressed as they learn to live in an entirely different way and
Yeah,
are
it's a
forced for the
complete
first time
change.
to orient their lives around something other than their own needs and desires.
Yep.
And of course, I'd say the same thing about depression in general. They're very often deeper issues than just the chemicals. Now, in the case of Lindsay Clancy, an extreme outlier case, though apparently not as much of an outlier as we had thought or hoped, she was so selfish, she was so narcissistic, she was so utterly consumed by her own wants and desires that she eventually lashed out
And killed her
in the
own
most
kids.
barbaric way she could.
Yeah.
The self-appointed experts may try to tell us that she had no free will, no ability to make choices, that she was nothing but an automaton responding to chemical signals with no conscious awareness of what she was doing. Like she was nothing
We
but
take
like
away
a
all
flesh and
agency
blood
from people,
ChatGPT.
basically.
But the experts are, for lack of a better term, full of crap. If you
I
take a
agree.
look at the Lindsay Clancy content that's all over social media right now, it supports everything I'm saying here. You simply cannot watch these videos and come to any other conclusion. There's an epidemic of narcissism among some women in this country, and it's
Liberal
leading them
women.
to
I
broadcast
hope he shows
their
more.
derangement
I
and
want to see more of the
psychopathy
videos.
all over the internet. You know, these are women who are not suffering from hormonal imbalances that we know of, or if they are suffering from that, that's not their main problem. Their main problem is a spiritual sickness, not a physical one. They're echoing decades of soul-corrupting feminist propaganda and coming to deranged theories about how Lindsay Clancy couldn't possibly be responsible because, in their view, no woman is responsible.
For thousands of years, every society put restrictions on women. Through effort, women fought for their rights only to prove their oppressors right.
Yeah, literally.
Looking like that. I spent Disco Ball. Thank you so much for the bits. I can't help but pray for America so much. Mental illness is disguised as empathy. Like, I don't think, you know, obviously it's not all women. I think it's just the culture that we've created in which we basically treat everyone with kid gloves. I think that's the issue. Do you think that they are continuing their logic about abortion? Well, they're seeing this as a medical issue due to postpartum depression. There's millions of extensions in the cells where they can do anything with. I honestly think it's just excuses. I think it's them finding excuses, and
they don't want to take responsibility.
Put it this way: if women can justify murdering their children, then they can justify anything. Right? You can justify anything at that point. Like, what's the limit at that point? It's like literally as far as you possibly could go.
For anything ever.
Hypothetical scenario: a man.
Oh boy, here we go.
His 5-year-old daughter. He is part of a pedophile ring. Other members of this ring include his best friend, the ADA, chief of police, possibly some doctors.
Okay.
Nurses. And now let's say that the mother finds out. Let's say she takes her daughter to the doctor to get some digestion issues looked at. UTIs. Things like that. Let's say that doctor suggests to the mother that this child has been abused, and she has been abused recently. So, of course, the mother goes home and confronts this monster of a man. What do you think he would do in that instance? Do you think he might snap?
So she
Conspiracy
basically was
theorist.
like, here's the facts of the case, here's the evidence we had. And she said, yeah, but hold up. Let me cook. Let me tell you another story. And then she just made
make
shit up out of whole cloth. That's literally what's happening here.
That's what they do.
What is this?
It's never logic for the left.
Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you.
Right?
It's never
Would he
logic.
then enlist the help of that ADA, that chief of police, those doctors and nurses?
So now everyone is in on it.
Cover it up?
It's not just that she
Don't
went psycho
forget
and killed
what
her
they did to
kids.
Karen Reed.
Everyone around her
Again,
is in on
what I
it.
said before about these women have no personality, no identity of their own, like nothing going on in their minds.
Nope.
So you see
There
the
you go.
same like
It's proof.
facial expressions, the same, just the same. These are not even different people. I don't like they have no individual identity.
Like a
At
hive
this
mind.
point, for a lot of these women, the TikTok brain damage is probably irreversible. For being honest, I mean, it is a full-on psychosis.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I think so.
And here she is creating this vast narrative in her mind
Yeah,
that has
like a
no
whole
basis in
fucking
reality.
whole fucking fan
The sole
fiction.
purpose of her delusion is to absolve a woman of responsibility from killing her own child. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist.
Why? You know the meme of like women accepting responsibility, challenge impossible. Why does this keep happening? Oh my god! It's like the meme is real. The meme is actually real. Oh my god! Holy fuck!
Conclude that in her own
Oh my
life,
god! Why?
this woman certainly doesn't take responsibility for anything she does either. I
Nope.
mean, if she's willing to spin up elaborate cinematic movie plots to absolve some other random woman of
She's gonna
heinous
do it in her
crimes,
own life.
just imagine what she's willing to do, what sort of Olympic hurdles she's willing to jump over
God
to
bless
absolve herself
the husband
of
of
whatever
that
terrible
woman.
things she's done.
All right, he did it. Patrick did it. Patrick's the one who did it.
Okay, why?
Not Lindsay. Patrick did it. Because, you know, I also heard that women typically don't strangle.
Yeah.
So awful to even say. But that isn't what a woman would do. They don't strangle. I was actually in therapy today, and my therapist and I were talking about it. And
Okay, so even if she's telling the truth,
This
that
woman is the
women
most
choose
retarded
other methods typically
of them all.
so that proves she didn't do it. Oh my god, bro. Oh.
Find
God.
these women,
This is what happens when we get
block
rid of
them
natural
up.
selection, chat. You see what happens? Holy shit.
she
get
said, I said,
divorced,
well, what do they do?
run away.
She said, well, they poison. Or I said, oh, or drown them. Like, we literally had that conversation today. And she looks at me and she goes, he did it.
This woman's sick.
Wow, yeah. And now, yeah.
Not surprising to see this from someone who's more
This
lip
is
than
terrible,
head at this
Chad.
point.
Isn't this
like her
terrible?
lips have taken
Like,
up
what the fuck is
over
this,
her
right?
entire face.
Dude, this is awful.
No room there for a brain inside that head.
Dude, for real.
And there's another therapist who contributes to the patient's narcissistic delusions. Instead of doing anything to correct them, women don't strangle.
rot.
What?
Damn.
The rot is
figured it out.
deep.
Strangle? What are you talking about?
You know what's funny? You want to know why?
The rot is deep.
You know, if I had to guess, like if I had to actually, you know, put some thought into it, I would guess that women don't strangle because it requires a lot of strength to strangle people. In what case would they be able to strangle people when they're kids, correct?
All these women on TikTok,
Thanks,
too, by the
Mariah,
way,
for the
that,
gift
like,
sub. Thank you.
they for whether it's this or Charlie Kirk or anything, it's always just, yeah, this is my woman's intuition. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't see, I don't know, something's off, guys. It kind of feels like women would never strangle. That's how it feels. Yeah, except in all the cases where they have strangled people to death, including the recent cases of Kenya Tilford in New York, Christy Marie Lynch in Virginia, Drazine Jonkerman in South Africa, Lori
He came
Vallow
with
Daybell in
receipts.
Idaho, who strangled her own children. See, if you ignore all the evidence of women strangling people, then women don't
Of
strangle
course.
people.
True.
It's airtight logic. Actually, even if I couldn't name a single case of a woman strangling someone, it doesn't preclude the possibility that it happened in this case, because you see, women have hands, and when you have hands, you can strangle somebody, particularly a child.
Wait, what?
And it's especially true in a case where the defendant admits that that's what happened. Now, for his part, Douglas Mackey, the meme creator that Joe Biden threw in prison, has a slightly more optimistic take on what we're seeing here. And this is what he wrote. Quote, "You have to understand the Lindsay Clancy obsession as just a soap opera. It's a low-stakes way for women to escape from their boring routines and feel like their life has meaning. Not just moms surfing TikTok and doing laundry. They are sleuths, detectives, activists, fighters, do-gooders. Some may be cynically trying to capture TikTok ad money. Yes, others are just spectators wanting to feel something, anything to break the routine." Now, I think there's plenty of truth to that, but the problem with the argument is that, as we can see in many different ways, these women actually believe what they're saying.
Yeah, their brain broken.
It's not just
thanks
a
to
time waster
TikTok.
for them. Women in Massachusetts just got a law passed that allows them to murder their child until the moment of birth. They're genuinely becoming emotional, weeping on camera about the prospect of legalizing post-birth abortion, which is what the Lindsay Clancy case is really about. So this is not just a lark, or some kind of game for them. Logic won't convince these people of anything, because
They don't
as
work
we
on
saw,
logic.
they're enamored with astrology and other forms of arcane magic.
Logic is out the window when you're saying he did it because he's a Gemini.
Hold on, what?
Magic. Watch.
What the fuck? Forensic astrologer death
Forensic astrologer. Oh my god.
All right, guys.
Please.
I don't want to hear it anymore. All right. I can't be as chuny as these people. There's no way.
So if you're watching the Lindsay Clancy case, I've already gone over the forensic astrology charts that show that the perpetrator is a male, the perpetrator is having an affair, and that the victims, specifically Lindsay, was drugged during this.
These people are insane.
And I've also
How do we let these
theory and
people
lie
vote?
detection.
How do we let them run free in society? This is crazy.
The South Node
Like, look at these
transit
people.
over Patrick Clancy's moon in Cancer.
There's got to be nothing upstairs there.
Over his natal moon.
Natal moon.
Emotions, his emotional life. And then it gets better.
What?
2029, all the way into 2030, he is going to have eclipses over his Gemini placements. The South Node is going to move over his sun. His Mercury
So he
retrograde,
killed
his Venus
the
retrograde.
kids because he's in his natal moon phase.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, guys.
For this man to be
That
humbled.
totally
And
makes
for
sense.
karma to do its thing.
The more of these clips you watch, the more you realize that these aren't just stupid, gossipy women involving themselves in a soap opera. They're a danger to
Higuruma's
themselves
right,
and their
man.
families. I mean, some of these
They
videos
believe
by
this.
themselves amount to probable cause for Child Protective Services to launch an investigation.
And some
which they
have,
should. In
and we
particular,
can
there's a new
should
trend where
continue.
Women are crying while holding their own children.
Yep.
As Lindsay
This is what I was
Clancy's
talking about
diary
earlier.
entries are read in court. Watch.
I'm desperate to get a mental
Look
break
at them.
from taking care of everyone. My mind is trying to make something physically wrong with me.
These
My
women
mind
are
never
holding
shuts
their
off. It's
children
constantly thinking.
on
The next thing
TikTok,
someone needs, I
live,
can't shut it off. I
crying.
desperately want to go
Oh
back
my
to work,
God,
but now I
dude.
don't know
With the
how I'm gonna
freaking baby
function, and it
there?
worries
This
me.
is like
Wrote that, right? Correct.
live
Two
proof that these
consecutive-
women
Dude,
are
whoever's-
thinking about
whoever's-
harming their children.
Whoever's their husbands, dude, holy fuck.
Get rid of
Further
them.
on into her
These women are
travels,
fucking
I am
psychotic.
completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the kids. I'm drowning every day. I feel guilty that I'm spending my family's money and not making any. I feel like I spend way too much. She wrote that, right? Correct.
Imagine being those children when they're adults, like they grow up and then they watch this video.
I'm
Holy
tired.
shit.
I'm terrified of Callan getting sick. He's a sick baby. A sick baby is miserable. He's sick now with a double ear infection. Clearly has a bellyache. It's miserable. I feel like the other kids.
Now, this whole display is, first of all those women should have their children taken
Taken
from
away,
them. And
yep.
I don't say this lightly at all, but if you know, if you're a man and your wife is in the Lindsay Clancy fan club
Corner.
and posting videos like this, you need to take the child and
away.
away from that woman.
Like,
She is
how
a danger to the
psychotic
child.
are you
Period.
that you're
That's not a
filming
joke.
on
If
TikTok,
if you're a husband of one of those women we
holding
just saw
your
there,
child,
that woman
sobbing
is a
because
danger to the child. She has
of
announced
Lindsay?
herself as such. This is all
this is
utterly
ridiculous.
unspeakably evil and eye-opening in the worst ways. I mean, I'll never be able to unsee thousands of women rallying to the defense of a demon who strangled her
I
children
know.
to death. It's one of the
This is
darkest
sad.
things we've ever witnessed.
True.
Between this and the Carmelo Anthony fundraiser, we're getting a
Yeah,
glimpse
that
into
too.
a,
Like, this literally just happened with the Carmelo Anthony thing. This is what I said earlier. It's like a very similar case.
kind of cultural rot that cannot be easily waved away.
No,
Lindsay
this
Clancy
is-
had every
we're
form
so
of help
screwed.
imaginable. All these
Between
things like, she
this and
needed
the
help, she needed
Carmelo
help, she had
Anthony
family
thing.
support,
Thank
financial
you.
support, medical support, to
so
the point that she was
fucked.
doctor shopping and hoarding pills and disregarding her doctor's advice to taper the medication. She had everything. What more could you give this woman? And still, she chose to murder her children. She chose to commit an unfathomably barbaric act, which, assuming she has an ounce of humanity or sanity left, will make every moment of her life a
No, look
living
at her
hell
eyes.
from now until the day
In
she
the
dies.
court case
And I hope it
photos, look
is.
at her
I hope she
eyes. She's
suffers.
dead
All the
inside.
people saying, "Oh, she's suffering now. She's in a wheelchair." I hope she is. I hope she
Yeah.
suffers every second of the day.
No,
until
she
she's
doesn't
dead.
deserve to
That's
live after
justice.
that.
But not even. That's as close to justice as we're going to get. So you have to ask, what exactly are these women even trying to achieve at this point? I mean, if they get what they want and Lindsay Clancy is released from prison, what happens next? Well, a podcaster named Brittany Hughes, as far as I could tell, is the only person asking that question. Here's what she wrote. Quote, "I don't get why she wants to be found not guilty for any reason. If you told me I'd completely lost my mind and murdered all three of my children, whom I loved, you wouldn't have to give me the death penalty. I'd beg for it. I'd be so guilt-ridden and horrified. I'd do it if no one else would. Why would I want to be released on the grounds of anything? To go back home and do what? Start a new life? To live the rest of my miserable days in an insane asylum, staring at a wall, thinking about the babies I'd strangled? Honestly, even if you do believe that she was genuinely that disturbed, the most merciful thing you could do is send her to the Lord and let him sort out the rest."
Yep.
Agree,
That's all true.
100%.
Jack Crow, thanks for the 1,000 kicks. Think you laugh now, but just wait till it's proven that Mars was in retrograde, proving that werewolves killed the parents. Written by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh my
It's
God.
an insight that requires thinking ahead to the
Dude.
future, requires that you consider the ramifications of a
Fucking
not
hell.
guilty verdict and what they might mean for Lindsay Clancy in particular.
God, if she gets a not guilty
and for society
verdict,
at large, more
I'm
importantly.
so scared
But
for
none of the
society,
TikTok
even
women
more
are
than I
capable of
already
doing
am.
that. Or if they have, they don't care. They're solely interested in their own moment-to-moment gratification.
This is such
At
a
the same
crazy
time, we should
story,
take
isn't it,
what
chat?
they're saying seriously
really
because
is.
it reveals a very profound sickness at a fundamental
But
level.
another
The
one
saying
just
of Lindsay
happened not that
Clancy
long
could have
ago, I
happened
think
to
in
anyone is
Florida.
just another way of saying that none of us
This
can
is gonna
control
just like
anything we
spawn
do,
copycat.
ultimately. So you can't blame us for our own failures. That's
think it
also
was
what's happening
Florida.
with Jason Arday.
She like
right?
slit her throat or something. It's fucking sick.
Takes his own life, and he
Yo,
was
Keem,
murdered by
thanks
the
for the raid, man. Thank you.
it's not his fault. This is maybe the defining element of our culture, this never-ending quest to relieve ourselves of the burden of free will. Now, I noted before how white conservative men are, it turns out, the least tribal, the least extreme, the least prone to the sort of psychotic, violent radicalism that prompts them to rally around somebody who strangles kids to death or stabs kids in the chest. I think this might be the
statistically true.
reason for this dichotomy. Every other group in the culture, women, black people, all racial minorities, the LGBT club, all of them are told that ultimately their failures, their sins, their crimes,
their
their
fault.
choices are the fault not of themselves, but of abstract, faceless villains like the system and whiteness and the patriarchy. You know,
Yep.
there's been a decades-long quest to remove agency or the sense of agency from these favored demographics. But
No
straight white
accountability.
conservative men are the only group, and
They
I
don't-
really
they
do
don't-
mean the
they don't
only
benefit-
group who have
benefit
never
from
been
it,
told
basically.
that their actions aren't their own fault.
In fact, it's kind of the opposite. White men are told that everything is their fault. Like,
Yeah.
anything that
Everything
happens,
is the
things that
fault of
happened,
white
like,
men.
hundreds of years in the past is like still their fault now.
Yep.
They've certainly never been told that in the mainstream by our institutions or by the media or the government. Instead, they have the opposite issue. They
That's
are
why
blamed
they
not
are
only for their own
hiring
behavior,
everyone
but for
else
everyone
now
else's too.
except white men.
men have been
They're
given
specifically
a surplus
told
of
not
agency.
to hire
And this
white
does
men
tend
now
to create resentment,
for
bitterness,
jobs.
animosities of various and totally justified kinds, but it doesn't tend to drive you completely insane. Being blamed for stuff you didn't do makes you angry, but being
And again, it's because what happens is when nothing's your fault, when someone says it's your fault, it drives you insane. It's driving these people insane because they're not used to accepting any
Yeah.
sort of responsibility.
They've been told they
think
never
can
have
get away from
accountability.
anything. They can
And
get
now
away with
when they're
everything.
asked to
It's
be told,
detachment. Yeah, exactly.
well, now when they're told to be
you
held
aren't
accountable for
responsible
something, they
for
go
what you
fucking
did
nuts.
do makes you, if you take it to heart after a while, crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
after all, the very definition of a crazy person is a person who isn't responsible for what they do. And even if it doesn't lead to full-blown psychosis, still, the people who don't believe they're responsible for their own actions will forever be miserable and envious and hateful, always looking for some external cause for their own pain and disappointment and frustration. What nobody wants to hear,
That's
whether
the
they're women
biggest
on
problem
TikTok or black
nowadays is
British
no one has
activists in the UK or
accountability.
socialists in New York and Minneapolis, is that you idolize fraudsters and killers because you're a bad
Especially
person.
the
Your
left.
life is presumably terrible because of choices
It's
you
always
made.
got to be
You're unhappy and
Israel
bitter because you're
or
unwilling to
Donald Trump's
prioritize the
fault
interests
or
of
the
others over
society
your
or
own.
the
And by telling
system.
you this, I can't sell you
Never
any
their own fault.
medication. I'm not going to win any fans on TikTok or X or anywhere else. In fact, if anything, I'm losing them. But it's a message that needs to get out there because as it stands, very few people are saying it. And whether we admit it or not, the most vulnerable among us, including children who can't speak for themselves, are dying in horrific ways as a result.
And I'm sad to
Ultimately,
say
people
this
who
is
won't
probably
take
going to make more
responsibility for
happen.
their own actions, people who deny their own free will, have no future. And if there's any lesson from the Lindsay Clancy case, and the conversation around it, it's that a society populated by such people has no future either.
No,
It's over.
we're
That'll
so
do it for the show
screwed.
today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Talk to
That
you
was a
tomorrow.
really good show, honestly. Like,
This was a great video, not only by Leaflit, but by Matt Walsh too. I actually have never watched any of his stuff before, but I really do like watching like Tectone and Asmongold and Leaflit's videos because they always show me like new people and new thinkers like Homath and that one like Logic channel and stuff, like really, really good channels that have like really good logic-based, fact-based videos that kind of just like prove what like I'm already thinking, and you know, show that it's not just necessarily opinion based, but like there's all logic behind it too. So this was a great video by both Leaflet and Matt Walsh. I know Aswin's going to talk about it later, but I really wanted to talk about this now while it's still hot. And it's really disturbing, not only just what Lindsay did, because, you know, people go insane and do messed up shit all the time, but, you know, as horrible as that is, it's really like scary and like frightening how many like other like quote unquote sane women are supporting what horrific thing she did and say that they can see themselves in her. How can you be a mother? How can you be a wife and say that you are prioritizing the life and safety of your child, and you say that you see yourself in this monster? If you look at her eyes, they're soulless. How can you confidently say that you are a good person, that you are a good mother, if you are saying that you see yourself in Lindsay? What you're honestly confessing is like you can see yourself losing your shit and also harming your family. Like you're self-reporting. How can you say that you're a good person when you say that you can see yourself losing your shit and going crazy? You can't. And all these women, I mean, even if they're just doing it for internet fame and internet clout, it's still disgusting. Like, even if you don't believe that you're that type of person and like you could actually do that, it's still disgusting because you're pushing that narrative and you're pushing this negativity into the ethos, into the algorithm, and there are other retarded people out there, other retard liberal, bored, unoppressed liberals that actually believe that. You're making them believe it. Yes, I can see myself doing that. And these are people that could actually harm their family. And they probably wouldn't have, but you brainwashed them into thinking that they can, and that it's okay to be insane. It's okay to lose my shit because Lindsay did. So no, it's not okay, even for the people that are just doing it for clout. They're all wrong. And I think all these people who are making all these videos of them crying, of them holding their kids crying, of them supporting Lindsay, of them saying it was the husband and it's because of their astral signs and that the husband did it and all this shit, they should all have their accounts banned. They should all be investigated. They should all be locked up. They should all have their kids taken away. The husbands should dump them, should divorce them. get restraining orders on them, get as far away from these women as possible. And the fact that there are so many of them is really insane. Like thousands of women literally just self-reporting that they see themselves going insane because of their children. How are we letting this happen? I know there's this big wave of like anti-natalism, like feminist movement where like, it's bad to have kids and, it's bad to have a family, and how all these women are like all of a sudden so pro-abortion. They just want to kill their kids. Like one woman was bragging that she had like somewhere in the double digit abortions, like 18 or 15, and she said that she wanted more. These people are sick. They're literally just killing their own kids for sport. Like, what the fuck is happening to our society to where women are like sport killing their own children? Like, what happened to where it's no longer a goal, a dream to have like a beautiful family with children and raise your kids and give them what you couldn't have and watch them grow up and flourish and be good people and change the world? Now all of a sudden it's like some goal to like not date, not reproduce, not have kids, and if you do have kids, just kill them. Where did we go wrong? I actually have the answer. We went wrong when we let the Democrats and the liberals win. I don't know when shit has got in so crazy. It seemed to have really come out during the Biden administration, and when Trump won, the insanity really fucking came out. But we need to put a stop to this. We need to get our old country back. We need to get rid of these psychotic Demerals. I combine Democrats and liberals. We need to get rid of these psychotic Democrats and liberals because they're harming our country. They're harming our way of life. They're harming our future. We should be in a paradise. We should be flourishing as a country, but we're destroying ourselves from within. So I don't know, guys. We got to do something because this is sickening. As a parent myself, this is sick. And we can't keep letting this happen. And even with the Carmelo Anthony bullshit, I mean, that's a whole nother problem. But this is sick. How can you be a mother and be supporting this woman? This is sick. I'm going to finish the video. I'm sorry, but this is sick.
I haven't seen like a full Matt Walsh show in like a really, really long time. And this one was really on the point, I think.
Yeah,
But
I think this
yeah,
is a good video.
It was pretty spot on.
Both
and,
by Leaflit and Matt.
I think what he said too about white men, I think it makes a lot of sense. And it is the problem is like people feel like they're not responsible for their actions, right? They can do whatever, and it doesn't
There's
matter
no
because they have someone
accountability
else
now.
to blame. And you see this all the time. Like I mean, this is
They just
to
blame
bring
it on
into
white
gaming,
people.
which is kind of my realm. Every time I find people that they can never look introspectively at themselves and they always blame something else for the reason that they lost, they never become good people. They never become good at the game. They end up whining more and more and more and more. They never.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's kind of like the whole reason why I think like Souls-like games are so popular and why I like them so much is because you can't necessarily blame other things for your failure. I mean, the whole point of those games is like you have to learn the patterns, right? Improve, literally get good is spawned from that game. You get better by playing the game over and over. You learn the movement, you learn the weapons, you learn the enemy, you get better by doing and practicing. And so you get good by self-improvement. But the people that blame other things on the game, like, oh, it was lag, or oh, it was my mouse, or oh, my teammate did wrong, or oh, the game's broken or something. Like, of course, that's a possibility. Like, I know a lot of AAA games now like are released broken and they're lagging and they're unoptimized, but you're doing yourself a disservice by not taking accountability that you just suck. Get better at the game. Like, are you losing in Marvel Rivals because your team actually sucks? Or are you losing because you're not playing you know, a tank as a tank role. You know, get better, improve yourself. And like Leaflet said, it's big in gaming, and you're doing yourself a disservice by not being accountable for you sucking and improving yourself. But it's the same applies for life as well. Take accountability for what you're doing wrong in your life and improve yourself so that you can improve your life and the life for your family and your children.
Get good at it. Like I can immediately like see a person, see how they act when they play a game, see how they act when they make a mistake.
Yeah.
And I could be like, this person's never gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because they don't look at themselves
and
to
take
improve.
accountability
Like,
for their
if
mistakes.
nothing is wrong with you, right? If you're perfect and you never make a mistake,
You
and
can't
any
improve.
mistake you make is not your fault. You're perfect.
Yeah.
It's the mistake
And then
of
you have
other
nothing to
people putting
improve
you
on.
down. It's the mistake of societal factors, right? Then you never have a chance to grow because you're like, well, I'm perfect. I'm perfect.
Exactly.
If only the white people didn't do this to me. If only men didn't do this to me. If only straight people didn't do this. If only capitalism didn't do this to me.
Yep.
Then there's no reason for you to improve yourself. And
the
really
fact is,
becoming
no one's
successful
perfect.
At life or becoming good at
Everyone
anything
has something to improve
really
on.
involves a lot of introspection, a lot of what can I do better? What can I do better next time? I'm encountering an issue where I'm not doing too well. What am I? Let me analyze what I did wrong. Let me analyze like what I can train, what kind of procedures I can use to fix it. It leads to improvement. It leads to this cycle of improvement where you keep getting better. You keep getting better. You fall over and you have a mistake. Oh shit! What did I do wrong? You fix it.
And then you
get
get
right
better
back
next
on
time.
that bike, and you keep going over and over and over again. And
Exactly.
that's what leads people to become great. That's what leads to.
I mean, that's how you
progress.
learn to ride a bike
And you know
and
what's
stuff
funny
like that.
is
Can't
an
blame
interesting thing is you can kind
the
of
bike
see
or the
this
ground for
with
why
a
you
lot of
can't ride a
leftists. I
bike.
don't know if anybody here follow like SpaceX at all, because like, it's really funny because you see a lot of leftists when like SpaceX would like send a rocket and it'd explode, or there'd be like some issue with the rocket. They're immediately like, "How with a bunch of fucking losers, right?" Another rocket exploded, right? That's the point, though.
But they learn
the
from it.
failure, like it takes all of that failure in order to.
I mean,
in
look,
order
we
to
just
really
did that
propel
cycle
yourself
around the
forward,
moon
right?
from
Because
SpaceX.
like every
yeah.
time
They
a
learn from
rocket
every time it explodes.
they learn from it. They get the math from that. They learn
Yeah.
from
And then they
where were
make
the
it better.
failure points here, and then they apply that to the next thing, right? And these people are just incapable of it. It's because they're incapable.
Well, the
and
left
this is why
has
they're
no
perma-stuck.
logic.
And it leads to a cycle.
We
Now
already
they're
know that.
perma-stuck. Now it's other people's fault even more. Even more it's their fault, which then causes them to not grow, which causes them to blame harder, right? It's a vicious cycle of blame. It's a spiral. It's a death spiral where you're stuck in this whirlpool. You're stuck in this this sink, spinning down, you're stuck in the vortex.
They never
want to
take accountability, and they never think they have anything to improve.
It's only themselves that's holding them back, which is the irony of it, right?
Yep.
They blame everyone else, but the real one holding them back is themselves. Yeah. And I think like really that's the lesson here. No matter who you are, again, I don't care whatever race you are, whatever gender you are, even
matter.
if you are LGBTQ, A++, whatever, right? Like if you actually want to improve, and like I want to see everyone here improve, you have to like start looking at yourself. Like,
you gotta
what
look
can I
inward
fix?
first.
How can I become better? Right? Like if you're feeling bad about things, it's like it doesn't help to feel bad about yourself. It does nothing. Feeling bad for yourself, wallowing in pain,
self-pity,
being upset
doesn't
and
help.
jelly at what other people have, it does nothing. It does nothing but hold you back. And the earlier that you recognize
just strive
that, the
for it.
earlier the more you can level up, and the more you can go beyond, is when you stop that shit. You stop that shit and you say, I can't control all of that shit. And are there going to be people that are going to get in your way? Yeah, obviously. There's going to be
That's just
people that
life.
are going to try to get in your way. There's going to be people that are unfair things are going to happen. It's all noise. You're going to see someone get lucky. You can say, oh, that bastard got lucky, and that's the reason why, they're doing so well. You can't control any of that. You can only control yourself. So it's like, what can I do about this situation to do better? And that's what all of these women are lacking. These women, these cucked men, these fucking socialists. This is what they're missing. They're missing like that ability to actually take responsibility for themselves, and that's why you see the cycle repeat.
So put 'em in the box, let the walls be.
What a great video. What a fantastic video. I've been watching a lot since Asmund began, watching a lot of Tectone and Leaflit. Tectone's a little bit more of the aggressive side, kind of just, like throws out what's on his mind. Leaflit is a little more calm and calculated with a lot of logic and research behind it. So I like her videos a lot, and she introduces me to a lot um, of different people through her channels and her videos. So it's been great watching her stuff while Asmon's been gone. But I really wanted to react to this when I saw what happened and heard what happened. I didn't want to wait until Asmon came back and talked about it. I wanted to talk about it now. But like I was saying before, guys, like we really got to put a stop to this. This stuff is crazy. Our society is going down fast, and we got to start going to the polls. We got to start voting. We got to change this country. We got to turn it around. And it starts with you guys. That's kind of why I made this channel, I wanted another voice out there to push back against this insanity, against the liberals, against the Democrats, and, push more centralist and more logic-based things and, more conservative views because this country's slipping. But this was probably the longest video I've done. So if you guys tune in, I really appreciate you sticking with me and watching through the video. If you watched the end, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It really helps with, the algorithm and, getting seen and YouTube popularity and everything. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking in and tuning into the channel. Gunpla Gamer here. I'm going to be uploading this video by the end of the weekend, and next weekend hopefully we'll have some stuff by Asmon to talk about. If not, we always have our nice little crew. We have Leaflit and Bellular and Tectone and, Dev, Dezu, and all the other fun guys. But hope you guys have a good weekend, and catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.